dawn of the 2018 Icelandic Formula Offroad season. Nitrous infused, big jumps, rolls, big V8s, well, and a few turbocharged, smaller engines as well line up the field this year. And with last year's champion Guðmundur Ingi not returning this year, there will be a new champion crowned. The season kicks off, like always, in Hekla, a fan favorite, and with no former champion on the boards this year, we turn to social media, and this is the fan vote. 32% think Atli Jamil will beat Þór Þormar to the title. Will they fight for the title this year? We'll see. Atli Jamil and Þór Þormar, both seasoned drivers, but do not have a lot of wins under their belt. The cars are good, the drivers are good, they just need to string together a good season. Now to the action. This is Daniel Gunnar Ingimundarson in the first course of the day. He started competing in 1998, has yet to win a race. Often known for flamboyant driving, big crashes. Daniel at least got going here at Hekla. There's a lot of sand. And Daniel stuck here. Will he reverse? Yeah, that's 40 penalty points. You get 350 points for the whole course. Minus 20 to 80 points for touching the markers. He definitely touched the marker there. And he's reporting power steering issues, and that's not good. That's 80 points for Daniel. Next up, Guðmundur Eliasson. He's only 17 years old. He's driving his dad's car, the Rodeo. He's been competing in rallycross and various events since he was 15. Guðmundur Eliasson, definitely what we can call a rookie.
Já, Guðmundur, hvernig leggjast þessar brautir í þig?
Bara ágætlega.
Það?
Já.
Þetta erfiðar en rallycross-brautin heldur þú?
Já, smá.
Það gæti verið.
Það gæti verið.
Yep. Tougher than the rallycross, and that's what he learned in the first course of the day. Not a big roll, but a roll nonetheless. That gives him 120 points. Let's see it again here. Too much throttle. Front end steps up, and he drives it over. Here we have Atli Jamil. Atli Jamil, the fan vote favorite for the Icelandic title. Here he is in the final climb. Will he get to a 350 points? Does not quite make it. However, no penalty points. 240 points for length. Let's see if Þór Þormar can do better. This is the final climb. He saw how far Atli went. Goes for it. Or what? Yeah, gets the grip there, but it's not enough. 240 points as well. That means that the contenders are level. Here we have Fjölnir Guðmundsson. Third race. He's the only one who tried for the final gate, and maybe that's why. 180 points for Fjölnir. But he's happy with it.
Já, það þurfti einhver að gera eitthvað. Það er hundleiðilegt ef allir eru bara að máta.
Og þú reyndir?
Ég reyndi. Það vona ég hafi bara uppskorið eftir því.
Now let's see the standings after the first track, and like the fans thought, Atli Jamil and Þór Þormar, they are tied for the lead. Ingólfur Gerevert and Magnús 10 points behind. Here we have Gísli Gunnar Jónsson driving the Jeepster. He is a legend of Formula Offroad, most successful driver ever, making a one-off appearance in Hekla after his one-off in the USA last year.
Hvernig líst þér á brautina?
Það svolítið svona erfiða fyrstu tvær, svo er það fínt.
Yep. First two courses tough. The rest is easy. Let's see how Gísli goes. This is course number 2. And it's difficult. Like he said. Let's see this from inside. Big bank there. Gets thrown up. He's never gonna save that. No experience in the world. Could do so. And Gísli ends up in a familiar position. Car quite heavily damaged. Here we have Gestur Ingólfsson. This is the dream. The dream is a 1,000 horsepower truck. But 1,000 horsepower is not enough if you don't do it the right way. Here we have Haukur Einarsson driving Hekla. The car got a new engine 2 days before the race. Stops there. The second course proving difficult for drivers here. I think it's a lot of the drivers talking about it not being possible. But here we have Magnus Sigurðsson, the Cube, turbocharged. And easy as it goes. Gets through the first banking, gets 80 penalty points there for touching a marker. However, continues, goes down, it's steep, it's loose, needs to reverse. That's 40 penalty points, so that's 120 penalty points already. He might have just as well not gone all the way up. Needs to continue now, go for the gate. 40 penalty points for this marker here. That's a lot of penalty points already. The final climb, he needs to finish this course to get some proper points from it. Through the first gate, the jump, he doesn't quite hit it, but that's 160 penalty points, so 190 points. But well done to go all the way, and that's gonna go well done with the fans. Here we have Ásmundur, he's driving the bomb. It's a new driver, new car. He's been building it for the last 2 years. Debut race for both car and driver. Gets through the banking, he's gonna go for the top, go for the final gate. Is he gonna go all the way? Well done, 350 points for length. Only 70 penalty points, so that's 280 points. Here we have Kristján Finnur, the contractor. It's a new driver, new car. Same story. Again, a new drivers, a new car seems to get, well, easily above the first climb. Back down, setting it up for the final climb. Sounds like there are some technical issues there with the engine. Definite misfires. But will Kristján manage the final gate? There's no power there. Nothing happening. He ended the race in 15th place, 475 points. Here we have Geirivert Grímsson. This is the sledgehammer. The backing, the first backing getting easy. He's driving kind of like he's doing a time attack, but so far it seems to be working. A lot of pace there. He's just gonna go for the final banking. Gets all the way. That's well done. 350 points for length, 90 penalty points, so that gives him 260 points. Here we have Þormar Pálsson. This car won 4 titles from 2013 to 2016. But then Snorri Thor drove it, one of the most successful drivers in recent years. Þormar has not yet won a race in the car, but he gets solid points here, 290 points. Here we have the second contender, Atli Amil. No penalty points so far as he approaches the final banking. Sets it up here, the car's running smooth, full throttle, goes for it, guns it. 350 points, that's no penalty points. That's a brilliant drive for Atli, and that means he takes the lead. Atli Amil leads Þormar by 60 points. Geirivert in third. Here we have the drivers preparing for track number 3 of 6. And Ingólfur Guðvarason, first to tackle it. This is Gutin Reborn. Ingólfur never won a race, but doing well, and does well here. 350 points and no penalty points. Here we have Páll Jónsson. This is the Sheep, a newcomer as well, and only 20 penalty points for him. That's 330 points. Track looks to be too easy. Þormar, that's bad. He got penalty points on both sides there. What about Atli? That's penalty points on one side, so Atli extending the lead. Daniel Gunnar Ingimundarson here. Will he make it up? It's not looking good for him. No, loses it. So he ended up in 11th place. Here we have Fjölnir Guðmundsson. Cars acting up. Oh, there, the rear diff. It just blew up. And that was the end of his challenge. He would end the day in 13th place. Now, all of the traditional off-road courses were completed. The last 3 courses are time attacks. And this is what makes Hekla so different from other races, where they are usually only one. Also, the river, the famous Hekla River. Here we have Svanur Thomasson driving insane. Svanur was driving well this weekend, but that's a noise you don't want to hear from your race car. And that is the front diff. It's definitely not working as it should. And it's gone, the front diff. Look at this, there's no steering, and these cars can't be steered with only rear-wheel drive. And that will be the end of Svanur's run, as the team could not get the diff fixed in time for the next course. No point to continue after that. So Svanur ends Hekla in 14th place. Next up, Thor Þormar Pálsson fighting for the win. Atli Jamil had the lead after the traditional courses. Thor Þormar is quick. There are no penalty points for reversing in the time attacks, but there are -10 for driving over the markers. And that was a solid move by Thor to get the best time in this course. Look at that, he throws it around like a rally car. Something that you're not used to seeing. So, after 4 courses, 2 to go. 59 points separate Atli Jamil from Thor Þormar. They're the two fighting for the win in Hekla. Now, we move to the legend. The river at Hekla. It's a legendary track. Famous. It's mythical. The cube. Aquaplaning well. Managed to throw it over there. It's pretty quick. You hear the turbo blowing. Now needs to set it up again for the river. Full speed. He needs to hydroplane. Oh, not a good landing in the river. Gets a bit wobbly there. Full speed. He looks like he's gonna make it all the way. That's fast. 40.45 second. Here we have Ásmundur Ingjaldsson driving the bomb. The hydroplane goes a bit wrong there. Wobbly. But managed to keep it. There's a lot of horsepower there. It gets all the way over. Well done. 46 seconds. Sledgehammer. Again, they are wobbling a bit through the river, but that's good enough. For the first part now. Gerever turns it around. Goes for the river. That's a weird line. Something we've not seen before today. Oh, gets all a bit wrong there. Slows down a lot, but 44 seconds. That's not a bad time. Here we have Thor Þormar. Look at the way he attacks the river there. That's fast. There's a new engine in the car. It's around 1,000 horsepower with nitrous from Nelson Racing engines. And there's a lot going on there. Full speed. So quick here in the water. And I can tell you how quick. He was clocked at 64 miles per hour. And that's a new world record for driving on water. 38.5. Fastest of the day. A sick drive by Thor Þormar. Fans love it. Here we have Ingólfur Guðvarason. He's never made it over the river. What happens here? He remembers it being wet and cold, but he goes all the way now, 44 seconds. Guðmundur Eliasson, driving the rodeo. The 17-year-old finished the race in 8th, which has to be a remarkable achievement for the young Icelander. Now, Gísli Gunnar Jónsson, the legend. He lost it all in track number 2. Was never able to win it, but went for track wins instead. And like his usual self, he finishes the course. And the crowd love him. He put hydroplaning on the map when Formula Offroad first got exported from Iceland with appearances in TV shows all over Europe. And once again pleases the crowd. Here is Gestur Ingólfsson. 2 wheels into the river, almost rolled it into it. Hydroplanes there to the side. That's a unique way of doing it, but he gets over. 43 seconds, not too bad. Let's see it again. Look at the way he hits the river. He catches the bank there, doesn't manage to steer it. Lucky not dig it into the water and actually roll it in there, but somehow manages to hydroplane the whole way over. Well done. Páll Jónsson did well in his first race, but look at how wobbly the front wheels are there. It's gonna hurt a bit. 47 seconds. Árni Kópsson, this is another legend. He came to Hekla just to drive on the water, and we welcome him. You can drive on the water whenever you want, Árni. An old legendary car as well. Haukur Einarsson driving Hekla. The nitrous did not work in the river, so he had to rely on his naturally aspirated power. That got him over in a decent time, 42.05. And now, the moment that everybody was waiting for, especially Þór Þormar. Atli Jamil, he had a 59-point advantage over Þór before this track, but it all goes really wrong here. Right away at the beginning. And the power steering is gone. It's gone. There's no way to drive this car without power steering. But he's still trying. But you just see how hard it is. And Atli loses the lead. He falls all the way down to 5th place. And that is disappointing for Atli.
And you were in the lead before that track.
Yeah, we was in the river. There's one hose that was blown, so I did lose the steering.
So you lost the power steering.
Yeah.
And that means Þór Þormar takes the lead from a heartbroken Atli Jamil. Now the final track. It's the swamp. Þór Þormar just needs to finish this track to win his first ever race in the Icelandic Formula Offroad Championship and take the lead. The course is not a time attack, but the same rules apply. There are no penalties for reversing, but -10 for touching a marker. You could call it a trick drive or some sort of it's pain for the drivers. There's a lot of cold swamp water thrown over you, but hey, it's a good show. These boys like to get dirty sometimes in Hekla, and Þór Þormar, he's enjoying it here. You can just see it in the way he drives. And there, Þór Þormar wins his first ever Formula Offroad race.
Þór, til hamingju með sigurinn.
Já, þakkaði fyrir.
Þetta var frábær akstur hjá þér í dag.
Já, ég var aðeins að ná tökum á bílnum. Hann aðeins óhreitt niðri og svona, en leðum að koma upp á snúningur svona, þá var það allt í lagi.
Og já, þetta er fullkomin byrjun á Íslandsmótinu.
Já, þetta er bara það sem þeir hleyptu mér í hann í Ameríku, kom mér á bragðið, þá var ekki aftur snúið.
Þannig að þú lætur fyrsta sætið ekkert af hendi á næstunni.
Ég held ekki. Þannig að það er bara undir þeim komið að reyna að halda í mig.
That's one happy Þór Þormar celebrating his first ever Icelandic Formula Offroad win. And he thinks there are many more to come. Now here we have the final standings. Þór Þormar wins it. Ingólfur comes in second. Geir Evert, Magnús, and the heartbroken Atli Jamil in 5th. Now let's move over to the street legal class. Street legal cars are raced. There's a small, big change this year where nitrous was allowed. Here we have Edvald Orri Guðmundsson in the second course, and he rolls it. The roll's not as spectacular for the street legal class as the modified. This is Steingrímur Bjarnason driving the Smurf, and here we have Ívar Guðmundsson driving the Devil. He's a multiple champion. These street legal cars, truly an art to drive, and need a lot more finesse. The track got easier as the car drove on. Here we see Haukur Birgisson manages to get through the bit that most of the others got stuck on. He doesn't make it all the way, but it's enough to take the lead in the class after the second track. Here we are in the third course, again with Haukur, and this would lose him the lead in the race, getting stuck right away. Haukur finished the race in third. Steingrímur Bjarnason here, he almost made it to the top in track number 3, but he led the race before the 5th course and lost it again, and was second before the last course of the day. And in the mud, it's difficult for these cars. There's a lot of horsepower, but they are not allowed to use the scoop tires that we see in the unlimited class, which are so useful in the swamps, in the mud. Steingrímur really needed to go further in the swamp, and he fell down the order, ended up in 4th and last place. Here we have Ivar Guðmundsson, the Devil. He drove well, ended up 2nd in class. All the cars in this class are old Jeeps, and it's an entry into this high-profile sport. Ivar quick here in the time attack. However, despite him driving well in the race, he could not keep up with Edvald Orri, who drives the Bachelor. Edvald took the lead in track number 5 and held it on all the way through the mud to take the 2nd win of his career. He has never won the championship, but he leads it now, and probably looking for more wins this summer. So here we have the final standings: Edvald Orri, Ivar, Haukur and Steingrímur, and the standings will translate into the same for the championship. Next time around, we are in Stapafell in Keflavík, close to the international airport in Iceland. Can't wait for it.